What's up, goodies? Welcome back to your girl channel and to my kitchen, how to cook. And today we're making this juicy baked chicken, fast, easy and simple. If you're here for your first time, welcome, and make sure to subscribe to the channel if you have not. Turn on your post notifications so you won't miss any of these upload. And for all of my returning goodie, when I don't know some love or not, ready for cook, come on, let's cook. Alright, goodie, when I'm ready for cook, let's cook. Now we have our chicken here. I believe this is probably like a 3.5 pound chicken. It's not a very big chicken, but it's gonna work. Yeah. Anywho, to get started, we are going to remove the fat, most of the fat off the chicken. I'm using my scissors to do that. I find it easier when I use the scissors. Just make sure your scissors is pretty sharp to do this, okay? This chicken didn't come with any inserts, things like the liver and the kidney and the neck and stuff. It didn't have anything inside of it, so that was all right. Because I usually use it to make chicken stock, but I'm going to be removing the back portion of the chicken. So I'm going to use that to make the stock for the recipe, and you'll see that later on, okay? But with my scissors, it's very easy to cut it out, just like you see I'm doing here. It's really easy. But of course you could use your knife, whatever suits you will be fine. Just remove that. Just be assured to remove all the extra added fat from the chicken. Okay, goodies, so now that you have removed the chicken back, right, from the chicken itself, just going to put that aside. And that is going to be used to make the stock. Just take out any added, anything that you don't like, just remove that, just cut it out. And again, as you can see here, I'm definitely moving some more chicken fat, the skin. We don't want to use a lot of that fat because it's going to make the recipe way too greasy, okay? So just go ahead and remove any imperfection there. And then what you're going to do is turn the chicken on the opposite side, and you're going to pretty much press into the breast and break it. Alright, so it looks pretty much like that. Then you're going to take it to the sink and give it a nice little wash. To clean it, I use vinegar, lemon, and salt. And I did let it sit for about 30 minutes, and my chicken was nice and clean. Now to season, this is what we're going to use. You're going to add salt and pepper. Then you're going to add onion and garlic powder. And I usually add more garlic powder than I do onion powder. Then my seasoning of choice here is some all-purpose seasoning. And then I'm adding some paprika. Then here I'm adding some green seasoning. And some chopped garlic. I'm adding just a tad bit of oil, just to ensure that the seasonings are clinged on, but not a lot. Then you want to go in and just give it a nice little rub here and turn it on the opposite side. And you want to season the inside of your chicken. I'm adding the same season that I used before, which is all-purpose season. I did use some Slap Your Mama season, but I don't know what happened to that little part of the clip, but I did use some of that. I'm not a fan of that season because it's really salty, but I did use some of that. Okay, I just want to go easy on the salt if you're going to use that Stocking Mama season. I'm just not a fan, y'all. Right there, I'm not a fan. It's really salt. You have to be careful when you're using this seasoning because of the salt intake. For me, rather, I could taste the salt in it. Now, just go ahead and just rub in your seasoning. Just get your green season, of course, all sitting on top of that thing, and we are going to cover it up nice and tight. But I did go back and add just a little bit more of the paprika because I wanted to have color on top, that nice little color. But be sure that you add some soy sauce, y'all. Just put your soy sauce on, and when you put the soy sauce in there, you do not interrupt it after that. You just leave it, let it sit there. And to tighten it, to make sure that the seasons are trapped, I did go in and use some parchment paper first, and then I went in and get some plastic wrap and seal the container. I did put this in the refrigerator overnight, but of course you don't have to do that. You could do this for like an hour and just leave it out at room temperature and let it marinate. But I did have some extra. When I say time, I had a whole lot of time, so I put it in my refrigerator and let it sit overnight. But one thing I want to say, when you're ready to cook it, make sure that you take it out of the refrigerator for at least an hour and let it sit at room temperature. Now we're going to need some onions and bell pepper and carrots. Okay, this is how I choose to slice the bell pepper, and the carrot is chunked, and this is what your chicken looks like after it's been sitting on your countertop for about an hour. Okay, and again, I did allow this to sit overnight, but it is not necessary to do that. Give it an hour of marinating time and you are absolutely good to go. Now here's what I did for the recipe. Now in a pan, I added about a tablespoon of oil. I didn't add a lot of oil, a tablespoon at the most, right? And then I put the chicken in, skin side down only. Okay, now what I did, I allowed it to kind of cook for maybe about 5 to 6 minutes. 5 to 6 minutes, I went back in and I flipped it on the other side. My fire here, y'all, is at a medium heat. We're not cooking this thing on the stove top. We're just getting it started. I wanted to do something special to the skin. Now, after I did that on the other side for the same 5 to 6 minutes, I went in and I didn't waste my marinade. My marinade goes on top of the chicken. Okay, you don't want to waste anything. Nothing goes wasted here. Now, after you've done this step, you want to go in and immediately add your veggies in, which is your carrots, your bell pepper, and of course your onions. Now if you like potatoes, you could go ahead and add potatoes to this. It is amazing with potatoes. Okay, but my husband didn't want no potatoes in here. He just wanted the veggies, the carrots, and that was it. And then I went in and added about 3 tablespoons of honey. Now if you don't like honey, you could always add maple syrup, because I've done this recipe using maple syrup and it come out amazing. So go ahead and just put your thing there, and with that chicken stock that I made, all right, I'm just going to go ahead and put it around the pan. Don't pour it on the chicken because you don't want to interfere with your seasoning that you put on that chicken. So make sure you put it around the perimeter. And I did go in and add about a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar because I love vinegar on my food. I added just a sprinkle of dried parsley flakes, and I did also go back in and add just a little bit more seasoning, any kind of a seasoning on your choice, because you want to be sure that your vegetables have flavor. Okay, and we're talking about flavor in this pan. And then you cover it up, and you want to pop this in your oven at 350 degrees, and we're going to allow this to cook for about 40 minutes. 40 minutes later, you go back, this is what you have. Now you want to go in and get that good gravy. It's all that natural gravy from your chicken and the broth. Oh my goodness. And then you want to just go in and baste your chicken with that good tasting, flavorful juices that you have going on there. And you're going to go back and put it in your oven. You're going to put it in your oven this time uncovered for about 15 minutes uncovered, okay? It does take about, I'll say, an hour to cook. And after that, this is what you have. Perfect. It is just so, it smells amazing. This, I mean, the season goes right through to the very meat of the chicken, and the breast is nice and tender. Look how tender this is. It is so tender. The leg and thigh just comes right off without hesitation. That is all juicy and tender. And let me tell you something, when you talk about flavor in that chicken, yeah, flavor, honey, you definitely have to give this recipe a try for sure, okay? Just be sure that you tell a friend to tell a friend. Subscribe if you have not, all right? And one thing, tell me what you want to see me cook next time in the kitchen. And remember, as always, from my kitchen to your kitchen, enjoy.